Hey there, hope you're having a wonderful day. In this video, we're going to go over binary search. So binary search is a searching algorithm used to look through a sorted sequence. So as you can see, we have a list of numbers here, and the list is sorted. So there is an advantage to having a sorted sequence. For instance, let's say you are looking for a word in a dictionary. And by dictionary, I mean the book dictionary, not the Python dictionary. So let's say you're looking for the word Python. How would you go about looking for the word? Well, the dictionary is sorted, right? But if the dictionary were not sorted, then you would have to start from the front page and you would have to look through hundreds of pages to find this word. But because the dictionary is sorted, you can just look for where P starts. And by doing so, you can discard 25 sections. So there are 26 letters. You only need to look for the section with P in it. So you discard basically the majority of the dictionary. And then the next letter would be Y. So you're going to look in the P section for PY and then PYT. And then eventually you'll find the word Python. So because the dictionary is sorted, you can use this strategy to quickly look up this word. So we can do something similar using binary search. So the way this algorithm works is you have a left and a right. So the left and right refers to the lower and upper bound indices of the list. In the beginning, it'll be 0, and the last index, 6. And the idea here is we are going to partition this list into two sections. So first, I need a midpoint. And to get the midpoint, it would be the left index plus right index divided by 2. So in this case, it would be 0 plus 6 divided by 2. And that gives us 3. And for those of you who don't understand why this gives us the midpoint, basically, we are averaging out the numbers. So from 0 to 3, we are adding 3. And from 6 to 3, we are subtracting 3. So basically, we are averaging out the numbers to meet halfway. And left plus right may not always give an even number. Sometimes you might get an odd number. So let's say if the lists were size 6 instead of 7, you would have the list end here, right? And so the index would be 5, so you do 0 plus 5 divided by 2. In this case, this would give us 2.5. So the strategy here would be to just get rid of the decimal and round it down. So it would technically be left plus right div 2. So we're going to do 0 plus 6 div 2, and that gives us 3. So 3 right here is going to be our midpoint. So now we check what is the value at the midpoint. And the value is 5. 5 is less than 10. So what do we do from here? Well, this is the midpoint, so we have two sections. We have one over here and one over here. And because 5 is less than 10, we know that every number in the left half is less than 5. Therefore, if 5 is less than 10, that means every number here would also be less than 10. So what we can do is we can just eliminate this half of the list. And because 5 is not equal to 10, we can also eliminate this number. So now we can bump the left pointer. Instead of being over here, it would be over here. So now we repeat the process. So we find a new midpoint, 4 plus 6 div 2, that is 10 div 2, which gives us 5. So the midpoint will be over here. And as you can see, we found our value 10. But let's say the value we're looking for is not 10, and it's 100. What do we do from here? Well, again, we have this partition. There's a left and right side, and 100 is bigger than 10, so we would just get rid of the left side over here. And then the pointer will go over here. So the left side will be at index 5, and then you would repeat the process. So 5 plus 6 div 2, which is 11 div 2. This gives us 5. So 5.5, but we round it down to 5. And then you can see we would have our midpoint be the same as the left pointer. And since this is not equal to 10 and it is smaller than 10, we would just eliminate this. And then eventually we're left with one number. We do the math again. We'll do 6 plus 6 divided by 2 gives us 6. And this is not the value either. So we pretty much eliminate all the values in the list and we cannot find 100. So the idea of binary search is basically we are dividing, finding the midpoint, and we are taking out half each time. So maybe we take out the right half and then we divide again. We take out the left half, divide again, maybe the left half again, keep dividing, and then eventually you're going to get one value, and if that's not the value, then you do not have the target number in the list. Okay? So that's how binary search works, and let's go implement it. Alright, so here I have my starter code, and I have the function for binary search, which we'll implement, and I have some tests here. So I have a list of numbers that is sorted, and basically 10 is in the list, -6 is in the list, and 15 and 99 are not. You can also use binary search on a list of strings. So strings can be sorted. Remember my example with the dictionary earlier. So in this case, Java is in this list and Go is not in this list, okay? So we're going to write the binary search algorithm, and then we're going to use these tests to see if our algorithm works. Alright, so the first step is to define the left and right boundaries. So left is going to start at 0, and right is going to be length of the list -1. So we're going to repeat the dividing process in a while loop. So while left is less than or equal to right, we're going to get the midpoint, which is the average of left and right. So left plus right, div2. And again, we're doing div2 because left plus right might give us an odd number. So we're going to round down by 1. Alright, and here's the part where we make the comparisons. So if list mid is equal to target, I'm going to return true. That means we found it. If list mid is less than the target, this means that the value is too small, so we need to look towards the right side so we can eliminate all the values on the left side. So we are going to update left to be mid +1. Else, in this case, we have a comparison for equal, less than. So the only thing that remains is greater than. That's why we can use else here. So this is basically list of mid greater than target. So if the value is bigger than the target, that means we need to check towards the left side so we can get rid of all the values on the right half. So right is going to be mid -1. And if we exit this while loop, that means we couldn't find the value in the list. So I'm just going to return false here. Alright, so that's binary search, and let's run our program. So as you can see, the first two should return true, and these two should return false. As for the second test, we would return true for the first one and return false for the second one. So let's save and run our program. And we get true, true, false, false, and true, false. So that is correct. So we get true, true, false, false, and true, false. And sometimes with binary search, maybe you want to know the position of where the value is. So instead of returning a Boolean, I can return mid. And over here, in some languages, they just return -1 as the error value, but in Python, -1 is a valid index. So if you do -1, that would be the last index as well. So what I like to do is just return none as an indication that it is not in the list. So let's save and run our program. And as you can see, we have index 5. So 10 is at index 5, -6 is at index 0, 15 is not in the list, 99 is not in the list. And for our second test, Java is at index 1 and Go is not in the list. Okay? Alright, so that's how binary search works. Now we need to talk about the runtime of binary search. So we know it's more efficient than linear search because we don't have to look through every single value in the list. So linear search would be O of n because you have to look through every single value in the list. But what about binary search? So here, if we have n as the size of this list, every iteration we are getting rid of half. So now we have n over 2. And then we get rid of half again. So now we have n over 4. And we get rid of half again. And then we have n over 8 and so on. So the question here is, how many times can we divide by 2 until we eventually find that value? Worst case, you keep dividing by 2 until you're left with one value. How do you know how many times we can divide by 2? Well, the answer is logarithm. So log base 2 of n. So binary search has a runtime of log of n. And usually when you see log of n, it's usually referring to log base 2. Okay? And just to illustrate how efficient binary search is compared to linear search, binary search has a runtime of O of log 2 of n, whereas linear search has a runtime of O of n. So in linear search, it's straightforward. It's a straight line. So we have this blue line. So if you have 4 values, you do 4 comparisons. If you have 20 values, you do 20 comparisons. If you have 64 values, you do 64 comparisons. Whereas if you're using binary search, you do way fewer comparisons. So for instance, if the size of the list were 64, you only do 6 comparisons, whereas with a linear search, you would do 64 comparisons. So you can see, with binary search, as n goes towards infinity, you do way fewer comparisons. Okay? Alright, so that is binary search. Hopefully you understood how the algorithm works, what is the runtime of binary search, and why it's a lot more efficient than linear search if you have a sorted sequence. Alright, so that's it for this video, and if you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe for more data structures and algorithms lessons. And in the next few videos, we are going to go through a few problems where you can use binary search to solve. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.